Okay, what was that?
Okay, so with Wordle, hard mode is you can't have any throwaway guesses. Where, so if you, for example, today's letter was label, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you get the A in the right spot, every subsequent guess, you have to put the A in that spot.
Do people not play that way?
Yeah, people don't play that way. People will play with throwaway words and stuff. So it
Oh,
pretty much
that's
just
dumb.
it
I
forces
didn't even know that
you.
was a thing. I just
Yeah,
play
see,
like
like
I
I
just
know
play if I get the letter, I have to then figure out there will be some times, like every once in a while, where I have one throwaway word, but like that is the very, very rare of
right.
circumstances for me. That is not the norm. I didn't even know that was
See,
like a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing either. And then last week at the soccer game, Matt was like, "Do you play with hard? You play with hard mode, right?" I was like, "What are you talking about, hard mode?" And then he told me what it was. I was like, "I just play. That's how I play it. That's how I play Wordle."
I guess there's a hard mode then for Wordle. Who would have thought?
Yeah. Is Alex working tonight?
Yeah, she works nights. So today is day 2 of 5 days. She
So
has
she's off on Tuesday.
Yeah, so she has 5 days in a row, but then she'll have 9 days off. And so that's kind of what she does is she'll do like 5 days, 9 off, 5 days, 9 off. So it makes it, I mean, the 5 days suck, but then after that, it's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. But
So what are you talking about tonight, dude?
well, dude, tonight is the intro to this YouTube slash podcast slash whatever the heck this is. You and we've talked a lot recently about starting recording our conversations, right? And today I was listening to a podcast and I was thinking, man, we really just need to record our conversations because we have some good ones. Some of it's funny, some of it's well I think would be intelligent conversations. Other people probably think, wow, these
Man,
idiots.
idiot, yeah.
But I think, and then some of the conversation I think is just about our kind of journey and becoming, for lack of a better word, successful, right? In, like I was telling you earlier, successful through our spirituality, through business, through personal lives, just kind of all of it. So I've been listening to a lot of stuff lately. And for me personally, I want to be held accountable on my journey, like my own personal progression. Do you know what I mean?
So you just think putting this up is gonna hold you accountable
I think it's
when it
going to
has
hold me
like
accountable.
when it has 2 views. So the 2 people that watch this,
Well, if anything, it's holding me accountable to you and to
right?
myself because I know I'm going to be talking about it, right?
Okay,
Because
well, I want to start with Wheel of Time.
first off, if we get 2 views that aren't us, that'll be great, right?
That'd be incredible.
Who is watching these? We'll start sharing it out, and then family and friends will see our random podcast. So yeah, so that's kind of what I was thinking about and we've talked about doing this anyways. I
Right.
also think it would be fun to as we start our day trading again
To
to
say
talk
what our
about our
trades are.
wins and our losses, mostly losses, right?
I mean, that's all it's ever been is
No,
losses.
we won.
So,
We won big for a while,
oh,
and
dude,
then
yeah, when we got up to 4 grand, that was awesome.
that was
So
great.
what? Well, no, so a few months ago, right? This is probably 2 months ago. Charlotte is telling me that we should buy another Ethereum coin because we had already bought one in March when it was like 2000 or whatever, and then like literally it's down to 1,000. She's like, we should buy another one. I'm like, I don't know, maybe we should wait, and we didn't buy because like Charlotte was pushing to buy, and I was just like, let's wait. Today it's trading like 1,800. If I had bought at 1,000, we would actually have a net profit right now.
Yeah, because your cost per coin
Cost
would
per
be
coin is
1,500.
different. Exactly.
Yeah. Um, well, you keep making the same mistake, Brady.
I know.
That's what
I never do it.
that's
Is
the
it
that's
what's
what this is
funny?
for, is to hold you accountable, right? Because how
Right.
often are we telling you like you just got to do it?
I mean, it's funny because Charlotte is the one that literally brought this up. And then today, she just brought this up today. We were driving to get some food, and she just talks about how I looked at Ethereum today. We should have bought another one. And I was like, I can't believe because she never looks up this stuff. She never looks up like
Yeah,
stocks or it's just funny that she's bringing this up.
that is funny.
But yeah,
Uh,
I'm just kicking myself, obviously. I'm just so stupid. Here's the problem. Here's the problem is that I start listening to the I would have bought one, but then I
yeah.
start listening to the All In podcast and they all hate crypto. They're like, this is a terrible thing. Don't put your money in crypto. I'm like, these guys seem pretty smart.
I talked to Parker just before we were talking, and we were talking about how he's making money teaching golf lessons, doing all of that. And he's like, "Oh man, I got all this money in my bank." I'm like, dude, that's awesome. I was like, you got to get a little bit more. We can buy a house, right? We'll get you a house. And he's all, yeah, yeah. He's like, I don't know. My ADA's gone up $400. Should I sell? And I'm like, Pokes,
Dude,
dude.
he's all of his ADA that he's held, he's bought like 50 cents per
I
coin.
know he bought like they were like nothing. Anyway, the
Like,
funny thing though, the thing that's so funny every single time without fail I talk to Parker, it's like, dude, are you trying to day trade your crypto or are you trying to have a long-term investment? And then he'll say, I want a long-term investment. That's always his answer, right? The next day, he's like, should I sell? Like, so you don't want a long-term investment. You want
long
to day
term,
trade,
you just
dude.
want immediate
You want
cash.
immediate
That's it.
cash. You just day trade then. Sell it,
I
make
mean,
your $400 profit, and then try to make the
here,
next guess.
here's the thing. Parker owns more ADA than I do. If it gets
Yeah.
back up to its high, like 320, he's gonna make like that's gonna be worth like
Well,
the amount of
he'll
ADA he holds. It's like he'll be like $20,000. That's how
yeah,
much
well, because
ADA he
he'll
has.
6x his
Yeah.
initial investment. And so
So like he should hold at least till it gets back to its all-time high.
I think
Like
so. Well, what does he have to lose? You know what I mean? Like
nothing. You're right. He's put
nothing.
in, yeah,
Like
exactly.
minuscule amounts of money in the grand scheme of things. Just hold on to it. If it tanks, it tanks. But if it goes up to $5, right? Like
Right.
he's doing awesome.
Yeah.
So it's just always funny because
Parker's funny because he always puts all of his extra cash in like penny stocks for some reason. Like it's like Parker, what
that
are you doing?
he's done no research on. He's just like, I
I
saw
know.
this one, it had a cool name. And I guess honestly though, that's funny because penny stocks, that's about as good as it gets, right? Oh, I
Yeah,
like the
like
name. Throw
exactly.
the
That the
dartboard out
you
there.
exactly. Yeah. Um yeah. It's
So
just
we're renovating this house, right?
okay.
And we uh we're adding a shower into the it's a 3-1 right now. So 3 bedroom, well, it's a 3-1.5 as a half bath. So that but the half bath, the way this house is structured is the half bath is like the hallway bathroom and the full bath is in a bedroom. So like the other 2 bedrooms have to go out of their bedrooms and go into the other bedroom to use the shower. So it's just super
Right.
random. So we're putting in a shower into the half bath. And for this home, we're using a different people than the
Contractor.
last
Right.
one that we used, right? And the people are great. They're awesome. They're people I know. One of them is in my ward. I think they're both in my ward, but one serves in the singles ward, so he's not with us. They both work construction like as their day jobs, and so they're doing this like on the side. But it's so funny because now it's like, oh, I need you to, what do you think about this? Or we need to get this item. What do you think? And I'm like, dude, I don't even know. He's like, we need to get this valve, some plumbing valve. He's like, what do you think? Which one should we get? I'm like, I have no experience plumbing. I have no idea what the valve that you're talking about even looks like. Well, how would I know what to get? So my point though is it's just been kind of an interesting experience because while we're saving a little bit of money and it is going faster than the last one, my involvement is
Is way
significantly
higher.
more. Yeah.
Well, I think that's probably good because you said that just how the last one turned out. You're just like, I'm never doing that again.
Well, it was great. Like the final product looked great, but they
But
told
the
us
process.
and it was supposed to be done 2 months ago, and it finished 2 weeks ago, right?
Right.
And so that's 2 months of rent that we could have been getting, that we haven't. So I mean, it just kind of stinks. But really
Right.
funny. This is also really funny about that last one. So during the whole process, there was like a wall that the old paint they had painted over. They didn't scrape it down or anything. They had just painted on top of it, but it wasn't adhered. The old paint wasn't on the actual wall, like because there's so many layers of paint, there was like
Got it.
bubbles in it, and it was an old
Yeah.
home. And so when they put this new paint on, there was bubbles in the wall, and you can like see and feel the air pockets, right? It looked bad and it was bad. But they're like, okay, well, we can leave it as is, or we can repaint it, scrape it all down, and redo it. It's an extra $1,000 or whatever it was, right? So we're
Right.
like, okay, well, we can't leave it as is. So we redid it, paid the extra. There was one other thing similar to that where it was kind of one of those scope of work items that came up. Our total is $2,000 more than the original estimate because of these 2 or 3
Right. Small
items
things.
that had happened, which was fine. We had agreed to it. We had said, yeah, we'll pay it. Well,
Right.
we've paid out everything because we already had cashier's checks set aside for the original quote. But that extra
Right.
2,000 we hadn't planned on, so I didn't have those checks, right? And Jeff has the checkbook in Vegas, so he has to sign it. So we didn't have checks for those extra 2,000. So I was like, okay, yeah, we'll get you a check. Jeff's gonna mail it out. So Jeff mails me a $2,000 check that I'm gonna be giving these people. Well, over the last like week and a half, this was 2 weeks ago. We had talked about this when everything had finished, which was 2 weeks ago. We talked about it. Jeff and I talked. Took him like a couple days to get the check mailed out. Anyway, so funny story about the check though. So Jeff mails this check because the contractor texted me today. Hey, you got the check yet? So I text Jeff, hey, do you have a tracking number for this FedEx? Because I mean, I know the check was supposed to be here, but I still haven't got it. And Jeff's like, yeah, let me check. So he calls FedEx and they say, well, the package was delivered on Wednesday, so 2 days ago. And we're like, okay, well, that's weird. We don't have it. Like, are you sure it's not there? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, we would see it. It'd be on the
Did
front
did not
door.
come.
Didn't come, right? So this check, this $2,000 check, plus we had 2 blank checks in there because for this new
Oof.
contractor, we didn't know the exact
Right.
amounts. So like
So yeah.
blank checks. So things
So
were
that
gone.
way you could just
Luckily, no one stole it, no one cashed it, but we had to void it. So now, though,
you
he
have to
had to
wait
write
again.
new checks, send those out again to me. So I'm not going to get them until Monday, and this contractor will keep hounding me until then. I was like, dude, I'm sorry, but it is what it
The
is.
check just did not come in the mail.
So
Like,
these are the most expensive 3 checks ever because all
yeah,
in to get the checks voided, to mail them the first time, to get them voided, and then to mail them the second time is about $100, right?
that is
So we
crazy.
spent $100 on these 3 checks.
Oh my
So next
gosh.
time I go to Vegas, I'm gonna
Just
get
get like a bunch of blank checks with you.
well, and we're gonna do. I'm gonna become a co-signer on the account, so
Got
that way
it.
I
So
can
that way they could
sign the
be like
checks.
valid.
But so that's been my day. I feel like I've been driving a lot, but it's the new home with the buddies I said I'm much more involved with. It's looking really good. They're doing a good job, so that'll be done. Hopefully in 3 weeks we'll have everything
Got
done.
it. And that's where the nurse that you talked about, that she's gonna move to that home. Or it's the first home.
The first home, yeah.
Got
So
it.
um, the nurse that we have in the home is moving out the 5th, and then this new nurse will move in the 24th, and that's of September.
Right.
And then probably between those dates, we're probably going to Airbnb it out.
Right.
Well, we won't Airbnb it out like a couple days before the person, just so it can be all clean and not have to deal with that. But for like the 2 weeks in between, we'll
Right.
Airbnb it out for a couple nights. So yeah, so it'll be good. And then the big one is our second home, the one that took a long time to get finished. We're trying to get that one rented. So we just listed it yesterday was the first day it finally got up and listed on Zillow. So if you on Zillow, you can see that one. But yeah, so what about you though? What's new in your world? I've just been waiting for you to let me know that you're done with Charlotte's website so we can start on our app.
Dude, I've been, here's the thing, is every day I'm so tired after work where I'm like, I cannot focus at all on code. When you look at code all day, the last thing you want to do is look at more code. And so I just have honestly not spent any time on Charlotte's website, and I really need to. and, and so like at the end of every day at work, I've been starting to exercise, which is good.
That's
Just
good.
because I hate having a belly. So we're also starting to eat healthier. And then I've been really into this video game that I was just playing before I got on this call with you.
What's the video game?
It's called Sekiro.
What's it
It's
about?
like you are a ninja or shinobi, I should say, and you just fight things, and you're supposed to rescue this character called the Divine Heir. It's confusing. Doesn't really matter. It's one of the reason why it's great is because it's so the combat in it is amazing and it's so difficult. Oh my gosh. It's so hard. I have two bosses left and for the game, and then I'm done. And this boss I'm trying to be right now, I probably died at least 30 times now. I'm
Yeah.
so frustrated. Like, oh man. So that's like where my time goes is after work. That's I like exercise, eat, and I'll spend time with Charlotte. And I'll play this game. And then lately I've been listening to more Wheel of Time finally.
Where
And
are you at right now with Wheel of Time?
freaking Alana just bonded Rand, and I
Oh,
wanted Rand to murder Alana because like what the flip is she doing? And
oh my
it
goodness.
made me and it made me want it made me like distrust Varen even more because when Moraine dies, she's like, don't she leaves a letter for Rand and she's like, don't trust any Aes Sedai and especially don't trust Varen. Like it's just like, okay, well, this is weird. And now Alana, for some reason, well, I know why, but it's ridiculous that she did this to Rand. And now now Rand's bonded and
Well,
it's
and it's
crazy.
it's especially annoying because um like this is the issue with everyone else is everyone is trying to use him. You know what I mean?
Except for
Like,
Matt and Perrin. Matt and
yeah,
Perrin are awesome.
yeah.
They're great.
And
They'll just
and I will say Nynaeve too. Nynaeve
yeah,
doesn't ever try to
Nynaeve,
use him.
yeah.
Nynaeve like will get on him, but she doesn't try to use him. She's just Nynaeve, right? She's bossy and the wisdom, but she at least cares about him, loves him, protects him. But everyone else just tries to use him and then they get mad at him. And it's so frustrating and annoying. When Alana does that, oh my goodness. It's so and then people wonder why he's angry all the time.
Yeah. It's like, well, I have this woman in my head all the time now that I can't get out of. I literally can't get her out of my head. It's impossible.
Yeah.
And then so there was something else with Wheel of Time. It's just man, people are crazy. I Luz Theron's voice is now way more prevalent
Yep.
in Rand's head. And so every time Mazrim Taim is there, Luz Theron always says, kill him, kill him, kill him. Like every single time, without fail. That's the only thing that ever goes through Rand's head is Luz Theron telling him to kill him.
Yeah. Just wait. Like,
Also, Rand can't bring himself to kill women,
yeah.
which is definitely going to be a problem later.
Yeah. There's a couple
So
things that are problems later. Right.
So yeah, like he like after this happened, he's like wondering to himself, would he even be able to kill Alana and Baron if they were like going to murder him? And he couldn't kill Lanfear when he was gonna die. Like
Yeah.
so
Isn't it so good though? Are you just loving
it's
it?
great.
Is
Charlotte's on book 11. We now have every book. I
okay.
bought the 3 extra credits. Every book is in the series. So she's just ready. She's constantly listening to it. She's ready She loves
Oh,
it though.
it's like
Although
because
where
she's at
she's
the
at
end.
right now,
She's at the end.
wait, she's book 11. She's really a little bit annoyed that she's like not seen Rand for a long time. She's like seen
Yeah,
Rand once, and
yeah.
then she has no idea what's going on with Matt, no idea what's going on with Perrin. And it's like right now for me, the best characters are Rand and Matt. They're like the most interesting.
Because
Matt's awesome. I like Nynaeve too. Nynaeve is literally the only girl character that like I can even stand anymore.
Nynaeve, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I want to see.
She's in, like I
Yeah,
said, book
11
11.
is the last one before Brandon Sanderson.
Right.
Yeah. And then it's interesting because so 12, 13, and 14, uh, it's kind of almost the 14 is a little different, but it's almost all it's like 12 and 13 are like the same time period, a lot of it, but different characters.
Right.
And so that's the one, that's my only sad part about later in the series is Rand's point of view happens less and less in a lot of the
Yeah,
books.
he's like the coolest character though.
I
He's
know he's the
awesome.
best. Rand's the best.
And yeah, so that's what just happened. I'm in book 6, Lord of Chaos. That's that's going on. Right now I'm in a Nynaeve chapter right now, but not like nothing that interesting is happening with her. So
Yeah.
not yet
Uh,
at least.
I because I finished the Scythe series, the Arc of Scythe, right? I
Right.
can't remember if that's what it's called. Uh, and I'm like, what do I want to listen to? So because I listen to a lot of podcasts, but sometimes you
Right.
just get podcast
It is
out.
called the Arc of Scythe series, by the way.
The Arc of Scythe series, perfect. Good series, liked it, loved the first book. I really liked the second. I especially really liked the ending of the second. The way the second book ended was such a great cliffhanger of the overall book was okay, but like the ending was just wow. I can't believe that happened. How is this gonna end? Where is this gonna go? And
Right.
then the third book was just a little bit of a letdown. I kind of said that to you already.
Right.
But so I've been wondering what to listen to because again,
Dude, listen, go through Red Rising again to prepare yourself for book 6. I'm literally gonna go through Red Rising
I know
before book 6 comes out.
I'm probably gonna wait till 6 comes out because I've already listened to the whole series twice, right?
Oh, see, I've only done it once.
I've already done it twice and I'll do it again. So I love Red Rising. But so I've been listening to we're running out of time.
Oh, it's a 30-minute recording, I think, is free.
Um, but I started listening to Les Mis, right?
Okay.
Because you know me, I feel like I want to read and listen to more of the classics, and I love kind of Monte Cristo. And Les Mis,
Is not as good as Count Monte Cristo.
no. Well,
I do
here's
not.
why.
I don't
Here's
like.
why.
Yeah, I don't like Les Mis, but tell me why.
The story of Les Mis is actually really interesting, really great. Like the characters, I'm not even kidding you. I listened to 2 hours, right? And I'm on 1.25, so I'm not even on the normal speed. I'm sped up a little bit to
Right.
almost 3 hours of listening before of just introduction of who the bishop is, right?
Right.
And then where I'm at now, I listened to another hour and a half of the Battle of Waterloo, right? And all these facets of it. And really, like, what is the purpose of? I don't know. I hope there's a purpose, but there's so much minute detail and so much description
Oh yeah, it's
about
dumb.
things that are just
Did you ever have to read Moby
so
Dick?
long, so long. I haven't read Moby Dick, no.
Oh, it's a lot like Moby Dick. Moby Dick is terrible. Like hours and hours of like reading of this is what whaling is like. And like it's not like
I know. I feel like though the one thing it does do for me is I read a lot more. I'll go on Wikipedia and just read about
dude,
history.
you need to read like the Three Musketeers.
I know. I think
That's
that'll be the next one. And I want to read it's really interesting these French classics, right? That they're just
right.
really really interesting. And the one thing I will say with Les Mis is as Victor Hugo is writing and describing all these things, one thing he talks about that is really true is his description of France and the importance of France in Europe during the early 19th century, and even right before that is really true. Like France,
It was the second,
without the
it
French
was the second
Revolution,
most populous nation in Europe, and they
yeah,
had the
but
strongest military in
without the
Europe.
French Revolution, there wouldn't be any real democracy in Europe, right? Like
No,
that kind of started everything. Where
well,
well, yeah, like the ruling class, the royals seceded power because they kind of had to at different points, but that was a
yeah,
big,
I I would say that was probably more influential for continental Europe. Like for in the 1600s, the child Charles V in England
yeah,
really ceded a lot of power away from the monarchy in England.
yeah, yeah. And I
And
should have
so,
said continental Europe. That is true. But so
but I mean,
but I, it's one of those books where most books I'm into and I'm focused on, I will find myself daydreaming for like 10 minutes and then I don't even
and
have
then
to
you'll
go
be like,
back.
what just happened?
I'm like, I don't, it doesn't even matter. I didn't miss anything. They're still talking about Waterloo. They're still talking about all this battle.
See what I'm waiting for Audible now is, well, I'm gonna go through Wheel of Time, but then the Destiny's Crucible book 8.
Yeah, I'm excited
It's
about that too.
it's out, just not Audible yet.
Got it.
So hopefully that's out soon.
Yeah, I'm
'Cause
excited
yeah,
for that
that
one.
was like a dumb cliffhanger. I wonder how long he's gonna leave this series running, honestly.
Well, my issue with the cliffhanger with the last book is I really enjoyed the last. I just really enjoyed the series because I love the premise of everything. But
Right.
I feel like the last book, especially, was a lot of
Devoid of
nothing.
conflict.
Yeah,
Like
it was just a lot of
there's like nothing
nothing. It was
happening.
a whole build up, a whole setup book where a lot of that setup could have been done right in half a book or
Yeah.
the opening scene of the book, right? The opening third, the opening act. But whatever. I'll still read the next one and I'll still
Yeah,
enjoy
I
it.
mean, I'm excited to actually listen to it now, but
But
yeah.
so
He pumps out books pretty fast. The last one came out last year, so
yeah, I'm pretty sure if I'm remembering right, he was not an author originally, and he
yeah, I
just
don't think so.
randomly started writing,
Because
and
he wanted to.
because he always wanted to write a book, and he
Right.
wrote under Cast Under an Alien Sun, I think is the first one, but
Yep.
Destiny's Crucible, good series, good
Yeah.
series. Okay, man. Well, this is a great first talk. We 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 didn't talk about anything really. I don't know if
Yeah, you should probably
intelligent.
watch this and just see if like this should even go out, and
We're
then
putting it out
what we'll
because
do.
this is episode one, right? So the in the last 4 minutes, what we need to decide is what are we gonna call our little chats? I was thinking on my drive home, I was thinking R&R with the Reese brothers, right? Reese and
Yeah,
Reese.
R&R
Well,
with
with R&R.
right.
Or a
I
little relax and
for some reason like there I like the term, like I don't know. I like the term like fireside chats, like the Reese fireside chats,
the
but like
Reese
it's dumb.
fireside chats. We don't have a fire logo on.
I know, but like that's what President Roosevelt would do. It's like when he would do like during the Great Depression, when he would be on the radio for like 30 minutes or an hour, nationwide, and so those were called like his fireside chats. And so
I mean,
I'm
we can call it the fireside
no,
chats. We
I'm
just need a
I
little
like I
we
like R&R with the Reese Bros. That's nice.
we'll send it out in all of our fans that we will soon have. Like, what should we call it? What should our name be? And then we'll get good responses.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah. Um, but so yeah, we're gonna put it out there because again, this is gonna hold us accountable. The next question that we need to decide is, are we doing this weekly or more frequently? Because we have talks like every day, right?
Right. I
I don't
just
know. This seems like a lot every day for us to like get on a
oh yeah,
Zoom
I would
call.
say I would say weekly would be the minimum,
Yeah.
like at least once a week, but like that's I'm also good if that's like the maximum too. Like be put out in a week. It's
That's the
like
minimum, but like you can also do the maximum. It's fine. I think what we should do then is minimum weekly, but if we ever have like something like actually juicy to talk about, instead of our normal calls, we'll jump on.
I'll tell you what, if Donovan Mitchell gets traded tomorrow, we're doing another one tomorrow.
Okay, he gets traded. Who you want in for him? Like who? What do you want? What do you want to see?
I want 7 first-round picks. That's what I want.
See, I don't want 7 first-round picks because I want a player that can help us win now.
See, but
And
the team is not currently constructed to win now. So
yeah, I mean maybe with picks and come draft night. Excuse
yeah,
me.
I just think
Come draft night, we
the
trade them
team
all.
as it's currently constructed is not a win now team because Donovan Mitchell needs to be a better defender in order to be a real championship player. He's a great scorer, but he's totally inept on defense.
I
Just
don't
completely
think
inept.
I don't think that's what we're lacking. What we're lacking is consistent play
No, what
from
you got,
supporting
Tyler,
cast. Like,
turns
for
out
example, who cares if he can't defend? Is we score more points than the other team. Like
that's,
the
I mean,
challenge is when he's the only one scoring and he's not getting consistent play from his supporting people. So when he dishes it out and then brick, it's like, okay, well, I gotta
yeah,
score everything.
yeah,
Like
but turns out the only team in like the past like 30 years to have won the NBA championship that didn't have a top 10 defense is the 2001 Lakers.
I'm not saying we don't need a top 10 defense. I'm saying Donovan Mitchell doesn't need to be a top 10 defender.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
saying
not
as a
saying top 10
team,
defender. He just needs to be a better defender.
but I'm saying as a team, we can pick up the slack for Donovan because at the end of the day, his scoring is more valuable than his defense, right?
That's true. Yeah,
And
totally.
so, yeah, the team needs to be a top 10 defense for sure. But Donovan, people need to pick up the slack. The thing though is we need better two-way players that are going to pick up the slack, but then still score, right?
Right.
Like I love Royce. I love him. Great
He's
dude.
gone.
I know.
He's
I'm
done.
just saying I loved him though, but like, dude, he couldn't score a buck. Like he never shot. That was Joe.
Yeah.
That was my problem with Joe too. Love Joe, and he could score, but he never shot. Right, and so it was like, you gotta do a little bit of something. You gotta score some points. But,
Right. So Donovan Mitchell gets traded. We'll do one tomorrow.
okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Okay,
See you,
talk to you
dude.
later, man.
Bye.